Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Subhanaka la fahma lana illa ma fahmtana innaka antal jawwadul karim. Qul rabbi zidni ilma. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن ثلاثة قروء ولا يحل لهن أن يكتبن ما خلق الله في أرحامهن إن كن يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر وبعولتهن حق بردهن في ذلك إن أرادوا إصلاحا صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So yesterday, Alhamdulillah, we heard some detail in terms of the explanation of the basic translation of these ayats. And basically we talked about the iddat, which is the waiting period. وَالْمُطَلَّقَاتُ يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوءٍ. So those women who have been divorced, so they are to wait for 3 quru, 3 periods, either menstrual periods or 3 periods of purity. So this is the case of those ladies who menstruate. So what about the ladies who do not have a period? So, or the ladies who happen to be pregnant, because generally in pregnancy there's not going to be the menstrual cycle. So in that case, what will the iddat be? So in Surah Talaq, this is also mentioned, these other 2 conditions. So we have 3 conditions. One condition is a woman who has a normal menstrual cycle. Second condition is a woman who doesn't have a menstrual cycle. For example, those ladies who have actually passed the age of menopause, or for whatever reason they don't have a menstrual cycle. And the third condition is the women who are pregnant. And obviously in the pregnancy they don't have a menstrual cycle. So in Surah Talaq, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the other 2 conditions. وَاللَّاتِي يَأْسْنَ مِنْ مَحِيدٍ مِنْ نِسَائِكُمْ إِنْ ارْتَبْتُمْ فَعِدَّتُهُنَّ ثَلَاثَةُ أَشْهُرٍ. So those women who do not have a menstrual cycle, for them they are to wait for 3 months, 3 total months, rather than 3 menstrual cycles, since they don't have a cycle. وَاللَّاتِي لَمْ يَحِضْنَ. And those who do not otherwise have a menstrual cycle at all. وَلَاتِ الْأَحْمَالِ أَجْلُهُنَّ أَنْ يَضَعْنَ حَمْلَهُنَّ. And those ladies who are in a state of pregnancy, so their iddat is until the time that their pregnancy comes to a completion and the time of their childbirth, whether 3 months passes or not. So if talaq is given and then a week later the childbirth takes place, iddat is complete. So, what's the outcome in terms of the next injunction? And the next injunction is that the men have the right to return their wives back once they have pronounced 1 or up to 2 divorces. They can still, within that iddat period, they can recall their wives back with the same nikah. No nikah will be required. So these are the 3 conditions of iddat. And then we have now a very important issue, which is the وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. And so the huquq of the women upon the men and vice versa, which is a very novel condition, because previously at that particular time and until very recently throughout the entire world, the status of women was something quite horrific. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail inshallah the next day or 2. وبالله تبارك وتوفيق وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.